On a bright Saturday morning, the kind that promised adventure, the sun rose over a quiet suburban neighborhood. The birds were chirping outside, and the golden sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, filling the space with a warm glow. Aunt Sarah was busy preparing breakfast, humming to herself while flipping pancakes. The delicious aroma of chocolate chip pancakes wafted through the air, making her smile. "Oh, I better hurry up before Nina wakes up," she thought, glancing at the clock. "He'll be up and bouncing around any minute." In the next room, her 10-year-old nephew, Nina, stirred in his sleep, the delightful smell of pancakes drawing him from his dreams. With a loud yawn and a stretch, he declared, Pancakes, I can't wait." Hopping out of bed, he dashed into the kitchen, excitement bubbling over. "Aunt Sarah, what's for breakfast? It smells amazing," he exclaimed, his eyes wide with delight as he spotted the stack of fluffy pancakes adorned with fresh strawberries and whipped cream on the table. "Good morning, sleepyhead. I made your favorite chocolate chip pancakes," Sarah said with a grin, placing the mouth-watering pancakes in front of him. Nina dug in eagerly, his face lighting up with joy. "Wow, you're the best aunt ever." As they enjoyed breakfast, laughter and chatter filled the air. Sarah couldn't help but feel a wave of happiness wash over her. "So what do you want to do today? We can go on an adventure," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Nina's mouth was still full of pancake when he answered, "Adventure. Like treasure hunting?" His eyes shone with curiosity. "Exactly. We can go to the park and see what treasures we can find," Sarah replied, fully embracing the spirit of adventure. "Can we pretend we're explorers?" Nina asked, practically bouncing in his seat. "Absolutely. Let's gather our supplies first," Sarah said, finishing breakfast and loading a backpack with snacks, water, and a couple of toy maps, just in case they needed guidance. Once they were ready, they stepped outside into the beautiful sunshine. The gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and as they walked hand in hand toward the nearby park, Nina pointed at the sky, exclaiming, "Look, Aunt Sarah, the clouds look like dragons." Sarah gazed up, playing along with his imagination. "You're right, and there's one that looks like a treasure chest." They giggled together, crafting stories about the dragons flying overhead, filled with treasures and exciting adventures. When they arrived at the park, it was alive with laughter and energy, children playing, families picnicking, and dogs running around. Nina raced ahead, his imagination igniting with every step. "Aunt Sarah, come on, let's go find treasure," he shouted back to her, his voice filled with eagerness. Sarah jogged to catch up, savoring the infectious energy of her nephew. They reached a large, majestic tree in the park, its branches stretching high into the sky. "Look at that big tree. I bet it has secrets hidden inside," Sarah suggested, her curiosity piqued. Nina's eyes widened with excitement. "Let's check it out," he said, rushing towards the tree. As they inspected the bark and roots, Nina suddenly spotted something shiny peeking out from behind a rock. "Aunt Sarah, look! I think I found treasure," he exclaimed. He bent down, pulling out an old, rusty key, his eyes gleaming with wonder. "Wow, where do you think this key came from?" Sarah asked, leaning closer to inspect it. "Maybe it opens a treasure chest filled with gold," Nina exclaimed, his imagination running wild. "Or maybe it unlocks the secret door to a magical kingdom," Sarah replied, both of them bursting into laughter, caught up in their world of make-believe. Eager to continue their imaginative play, they decided to create a story about the key. Sarah began, her voice taking on a storytelling tone. "Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a kingdom ruled by a kind queen who loved adventures. One day, she lost a special key that opened the door to the hidden valley, filled with treasures beyond imagination." "What happened next, Aunt Sarah?" Nina asked, captivated by her tale. "The queen searched high and low until one day, a brave explorer found the key under the very same tree we're standing by," Sarah continued, weaving an engaging narrative. Nina listened intently, his eyes wide with excitement. And then the explorer used the key to open the door, and inside there were giant golden apples that could grant wishes, he interjected. Yes. And the explorer made a wish to have the best adventure ever, and suddenly the ground shook, Sarah added, fueling the adventure even more. Nina jumped up, pretending to be the brave explorer, looking around dramatically. What's happening? Is it a dragon? He exclaimed, his voice filled with a mix of fear and excitement. It could be. We need to be brave explorers and find out, Sarah said, joining in the playful excitement as they moved deeper into the park. As they wandered, they stumbled upon a group of kids pretending to be knights and dragons. Nina whispered to Sarah, "Look, it's our dragon." Sarah nodded, and they approached the kids with enthusiasm. "Can we join your dragon battle?" she asked, her eyes sparkling. "Sure, you can be knights and we'll be dragons," one of the kids replied. Nina's face lit up with joy. "I want to be a knight," he declared. "And I'll be your brave sidekick," Sarah added, excited to dive into the play with the other children. They joined the group, engaging in a playful battle, wielding sticks as swords, laughter echoing around them as they fought imaginary dragons. After some time, they collapsed on the grass, panting and laughing, catching their breath. Nina looked thoughtful as he sipped his water. "Aunt Sarah, that was so much fun. I love being a knight," he said, his face glowing with happiness. "I'm glad. It's great to work together as a team just like we did," Sarah replied, watching her nephew understand the value of collaboration even in their playful scenario. As the sun began to set, Sarah pulled out the snacks she had packed, spreading them on a blanket. The kids gathered around, their eyes lighting up at the sight of delicious treats. "Wow, what's for lunch?" Nina exclaimed, excitement building again. "I made sandwiches, fruit, and cookies. We can have a picnic right here," Sarah announced, her heart swelling with joy at the sight of everyone enjoying the meal together. The kids cheered and began to dig in, sharing stories and laughter as they ate. Amid the chatter and joy, Sarah took a moment to observe the scene. Nina was laughing with his new friends, and she couldn't help but feel a wave of happiness wash over her. In that moment, she realized it wasn't just about the pancakes or the adventure. It was about creating memories that would last a lifetime. After their picnic, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a beautiful golden hue over the park. The kids reluctantly began to say their goodbyes, promising to meet again for more adventures. "Aunt Sarah, thank you for the best day ever," Nina said, hugging her tightly, his heart full of joy. "Thank you for being the best nephew. I had a blast with you," Sarah replied, kneeling down to his level, her heart swelling with affection. As they walked home, hand in hand, they recounted their favorite moments of the day, laughter filling the air. Nina's imagination was still bubbling with excitement, and he turned to Sarah with bright eyes. "Can we do it again tomorrow?" he asked, hope shining in his voice. "Of course. We can plan another adventure," Sarah said, her heart warm with the thought of spending another wonderful day together. As they settled in back at home, Nina's thoughts were racing. "Aunt Sarah, today was the best. Can we have treasure hunts every weekend?" he asked eagerly. "Every weekend if you want," Sarah said with a smile. "We can be explorers, knights, and whatever else you want to be." As the day came to a close, Aunt Sarah realized that these moments, filled with laughter, imagination, and love, were the treasures that truly mattered. In Nina's eyes, she saw the spark of joy and the beauty of childhood wonder, and she knew that these adventures, both big and small, would forever remain etched in their hearts as the best days of their lives.